So what I didn't cover earlier is what happens when you don't wear a life jacket. You fall, right? But your life jacket is right there for you to reach, right? So when you panic and you fall, right, and you don't get like your life jacket in time, if you don't get into your life jacket in time, right, and you fall, like, what are you going to do, right? So the odds of you putting a life jacket on in the water is going to be a lot harder. If you guys would like to see a video of that, just let me know. I will come back out here and I will do a video of me jumping into the water without a life jacket, or me falling into the water without a life jacket, you know. And then I will try to put it back on, and you know, let's see like how hard it is to show you guys, you know, because you can grab onto it and you can hold on to it, right? But you're using a lot of energy to hold on to that life jacket, you know, unless you can somehow flip around and get it onto you, right? And especially it's even worse when you wear a bigger life jacket and you're a bigger person. It's gonna be harder for you to get a life jacket on. I'm a smaller dude. I could easily put on a life jacket in the water if I wanted to, right? But like I said, it's all about, hey, what happens if you fall off the water, you panic, right? And then you don't grab your life jacket, or your life jacket starts floating down the lake or down the river and you can't grab to it. So you're making the decision, do I swim for my kayak or do I swim for my life jacket, you know? And neither one is wrong, right? Because a life jacket will keep you up. Your kayak is still up. Or maybe it's flipped over, you know? So if you make the decision to go to your kayak when it's flipped over, and you flip it back over, what makes you say you have the strength to flip that kayak back over and then climb on top of it? So there's a lot of factors that come into play. It just, at the end of the day, it's just easier if you're wearing your life jacket, then you only have to focus. That's one less thing for you to worry about, pretty much, you know. And I get it. When you're out in the water, you never expect what's gonna happen. So just wear your life jacket. If you don't want to, then you know, that's your decision. If the state laws doesn't apply to you, then you know it's fine. Alright, so I just did a video and I left a few things out, so we're going to redo that video pretty much. Like I said, this life jacket is solely just in case I run into someone that needs it. Their life is hanging on a thread, so I carry this on the back of my kayak. So I always recommend to wear your kill switch or your controller. If you fall off, your kayak is, you know, gonna keep moving. It's better to push a button and grab your kayak. So like I said, our goal is to go in the water, actually to test the stability on our kayak. You know, every kayak's different. Everyone's gonna have different stability. I'm gonna go a little deeper, like 10-15 feet of water. But yeah, so everybody's like kayak is like, you know, different. Stability is different. You know, the way you're gonna get back on your kayak is gonna be different. We are going to fall off this kayak like multiple times during this time. I'm not gonna spot lock, right? Because if I spot lock, it's kind of cheating. It's like saying, hey, your kayak's in the same place. I'm gonna let the wind factor play a little bit. We have roughly about 6 to 7 mile per hour winds today. It's not a lot, but it's enough to, you know, kind of drift your kayak off when you fall in the water. So, you know, without further ado, we're gonna try to, you know, test the stability on this kayak. I did it earlier, but you know, so here we go. So this is with me sitting right on the edge of my kayak. And obviously, it could get a lot worse. And we'll try to walk to the back of this kayak. from right here. If I do fall, it's gonna be mainly because my feet's wet and it's a little slippery. You saw I was able to pretty much walk on the side right there. I held on to a little bit right there to get to the back right here, but you know, it shows how stable it is. I am roughly around 165 pounds. It's 15 feet of water right here. So let's go right back to the front. Same way we came through. So if my foot wasn't so slippery and wet, it'd be a lot easier. But let's say you fall into the water, right? Like, let's just say I'm fishing up here. You guys seen me fall in my kayak like 3, 4, 5 times already. So let's say we're just fishing, and then like, oh, I slipped. You saw how I fell down. My kayak started going out that way from where I fell down. So that's also a factor you guys have to keep in mind, that when you do fall in the water, your kayak's gonna shift out a different direction. And when you come back up, you might not be aware of where it is, you know? Like, hey, you fall down that way, but your kayak drifted down, and you're over here, you come back up, you're looking for it, and you're having to swim. And let's say you don't have your life jacket on, so 1, you're looking for your life jacket, 2, you're looking for your kayak. And the longer you wait, depending on how the water is, your kayak could drift down farther than you want it to. Let me just get my kayak right back into the deep spot. This water is getting pretty cold. So one of the dangers of falling off your kayak during the colder months or the hotter months, right, is, let's say you're fishing in a hot 90-degree weather and the water temps, you fish in a cold reservoir that's like temps usually stay around 50 to 60 degrees, which is highly unlikely unless you're up north somewhere or fishing in California where the water is always cold. When you're fishing in hot weather, your body gets down into cold water, you're gonna go into shock majority of the time. Once your body goes into shock in the water, right, you're going to more than likely panic. You're gonna take a gasp of air, and it's gonna be water, and you're probably gonna go unalive yourself within 3 to 5 minutes. And then let's put into another factor. When I did just jump in the water, I did hold my breath, but I didn't like hold my nose or anything, right? And I still had water that went up my nose, water that went into my mouth, you know. So you have to put in factors like that too, that when you fall in the water, you're going to get some sort of water in your mouth, and you're going to panic if you're not used to getting back on your kayak, right? So my kayak's really stable. Like I said, everybody's kayak is going to be different. I've been through a lot of cheap kayaks. I've been through 2 Hobies, and this is roughly my 6th or 7th kayak. It's the Bonafide XTR 130. It definitely needs a motor if you do intend to get one. Hand paddling this thing is like trying to hand paddle a tank. It's heavy, and it doesn't move a lot. You know, if the weather is like today, it's fine, right? But if the wind's any worse, it's gonna be bad, you know. So let's try to do some re-entry. I'll do the one that I always do, because for this kayak, they brought down the gunnels of it and they made it lower. And I'm pretty sure they made it solely just for people trying to, like, people falling off the water or getting in the water and coming back in. It makes it easier to get back in right here. And a technique that I do the technique that I do is I like to position myself upright and then kick as much as I can and pull myself up at the same time. So let's say you don't have a super stable kayak, right? And you try to climb off on the side of your kayak like how I just did right here. Most of the times you're gonna flip the kayak again. And this time your kayak's gonna be on the bottom side, and it's gonna be a lot harder to reflip that. Because just me hanging on the side of my kayak right here, actually grabbing onto it like my life depended on it, right? I'm out of breath, I'm tired, and you gotta consider, hey, I gotta get back on the kayak. You know, if the water's cold, I gotta get back on the kayak, you know? Or if I'm in the middle of the lake somewhere where no one's on the water, like today, there's like no boats anywhere. So I'm all by myself. If I drown out here by myself, right? So you want to make sure you have your life jacket on, and you want to make sure that every action you do is necessary. Don't overexpend your energy in the water if you're not an avid swimmer. So, like I said, if you have a cheaper kayak, you come here, you see how much my kayak is like lifted up on that side, and this side over here, it's pretty much going down. You will flip your kayak. For a cheaper kayak, right, I recommend come to the front of the kayak. Well, I left the deep water and went to the super shallow water. Let me get back out a little bit. So, let's say I need to get back, right? It's going to be harder to get back on the front of your kayak, right? But the benefit of it's solely because my kayak is so high up in the front because of the how I have my kayak weighted, because I like to stand up here a lot. But let's say like getting back up on the front of your kayak is going to be one of the easiest. And if you have a motor out front, you could kind of step on the motor and then climb up. That's one way to climb up, right? And then let's say when you're up here, just take a minute, take a breather, rest up, see what you need to grab in the water, you know. Your gear comes second, your life is first, right? And then we're gonna fall again, and we're gonna actually climb up from the back this time. We're in 8 feet of water, since we're gonna do something a little more risky. We're gonna fall off the kayak, and we're gonna hold the life jacket, right? It's just, this is saying you're falling off the life jacket, right? And you know you're gonna fall off. And I guess I should sit down. I guess I should sit down and then just like lean over on one side and fall. Since we did fall off on, yeah, it was this side we fell off earlier. Or maybe it was this side, it doesn't matter. But we'll fall off on this side. We'll just like lean over and we'll act like we're grabbing our life jacket. And then we're gonna try to put it back on and see how hard it is. See, I don't have my life jacket on. It's harder. My kayak's taking off. And I have to worry about how the heck I can put it on. So you can put it on like this to hold yourself up, but it's not very buoyant. And if you're a heavier person, your life jacket is not going to keep you up. So let's try to put it on the correct way to see how hard it is to do that in the water. All right, I got my life jacket on in the water, but that took a lot of energy, a lot of energy.
And that's also because I was prepared to jump in the water. I know I was falling in. I was prepared for it. But like I said, I fell off on my side right there, right? I even though I held my breath, I didn't breathe. I still took in a few gulps of water. You can hear me. I'm out of breath. Just trying to push myself up, keep myself up, and put the life jacket on. Right? I'm a skinnier guy. I'm flexible. So for me, I found it hard. So imagine yourself. You're a bigger dude, 6 foot, broad shoulders, or like you're just bigger in size in general, right? Putting on a life jacket in the water, it's going to be a lot harder for you than me. And I'm used to doing dumb stuff like this where I fall in the water and I need my life jacket. And this is just also another reason why just leave your PFD on, because if you don't have it on, you're going to be fighting for that. You're wasting a lot of energy. And I say, you waste so much energy, now you got to get back on your kayak. And you can't because you're too tired, right? You can't because you're too tired. The bank is, and let's say you're in the middle of the lake, the bank is not like 10 feet away. But let's just say you're too tired. What I recommend doing, don't hang on your kayak. Just stay within like grabbing distance of your kayak, but float. Float with it. Stay with it for a little bit. Rest up. Lay on your back, right? Don't try to stay upright because you're burning a lot more energy. So lay on your back, relax, catch your breath. Now, if you're in colder water, you gotta think about like hypothermia and stuff, right? But obviously I'm not in colder water and I don't have to worry about that. You know, it's not winter. It's pretty much, it feels like the middle of summer right now, honestly. So the water feels pretty good. But we're gonna climb off from the back. So I have a motor back here too that I could climb off on. But let's just say you don't. The motor's not back there. You really just try to grab yourself somewhere. I'll probably have to do something like on my Hobie to take one of my Hobies out, and because it's practically gutted, there's nothing on it. Like I said, so it'll be a lot easier to demonstrate how you climb up from the back and the front. If you guys have like any recommendations or anything you want me to do to show you guys, I could just, you know, drop it down below and I'll let you guys, I'll try to do something to show you guys and help you guys out a little bit. But hey man, you guys got family, you guys might have husbands, wives at home, kids, you know, even just family members, brothers and sisters, dads and moms. They care about you, man. So if you're out on the water, wear your PFD. Don't take chances, you know. Like, let's say it's super shallow here, right? A lot of the reason a lot of people don't wear PFDs is because they say it's super shallow, you know. It's like 1 to 2 foot of water. Why do I need a PFD? Okay, so one of the good examples, I'm gonna fall in the water again here, and I'm actually gonna protect my head so I don't hit a rock. So let's say you fall in the water. Oh, that hurt. You saw how shallow it is. Let's say you fall in the water, right? You're not prepared for it. You hit your head, for one. It's gonna knock you unconscious. And most life jackets are gonna keep you afloat. Now, not every life jacket is gonna push you to your back and keep you floated like this, right? Most of them just keep you afloat. So I don't even think this one will keep me. It will turn me to my back. I know they do make specific life jackets that will flip you over, but this one does not do that. I don't think so. I will try. I'll try here. I'll flip myself over and see if the life jacket will flip me over. Yeah. If I get knocked out, I'm practically gonna probably drown. So like I said, they do have life jackets that will flip you back over to your front. But like if you have a life jacket on, right, it's easier to recover your body at the very least instead of prolonging searches. And the lakes are deep. The underwater current in lakes are very dangerous too. They will pull your body down. But like I said, test out the stability of your kayak, find your limitations, try flipping it one more time. And if your kayak is not a stable kayak, take everything off, take it onto the water, flip the kayak, and try to re-flip it back into position for you to get back onto. And then practice entry or exiting and re-entry into your kayak multiple times, right? You can never practice enough like learning how to get back in your kayak, because there's gonna be times where you just fall down and you just don't know how to get back on, you know. But if you're like, let's just put in a situation you're so tired you can't get back on, like I said, rest. Don't hold on your kayak really. Just rest. Stay near your kayak and rest. Don't, because when you're holding onto your kayak, right, and it makes sense to hold onto your kayak like this, but you're using a lot of upper body strength just to hold on to it. So like I said, make sure you just rest right beside of it. Get the rest you needed, right? Depending on your kayak, like I said, go to the front or the back. But if your kayak is really stable, the side is good to go for you to climb right back on top, right? I think I covered majority of everything. There's not much left for me to cover. In regards of having a life jacket. And so a good thing to have also is a air horn. Keep on your life jacket. You see? I dropped this one in water. Take it out. Still works, right? If you fall in water, my life jacket right there doesn't have pockets to hold an air horn, so I usually keep mine in the back of my kayak. But let's say you fall off and you're wearing a life jacket like this. This is not a life jacket I would recommend you buying if you fish long hours or hot summers. I don't recommend this life jacket. One, for multiple reasons, right? One, it's big, bulky, it's heavy. You're not going to want to wear it. It's going to get hot, and then you're going to want to take it off. It's because this thing will absorb a lot of heat, and it's going to trap a lot of heat around you. You're going to want to take it off, right? So like I said, I keep this one on the back of my kayak, just in case I ever find someone on the water who needs an extra one, like just fill off the kayak. And the thing about, I don't know, most ramps, they should have life jackets on the side, but let's say you forget a life jacket, right? They should have life jackets on the side for you to grab. So just make sure, if you go in the water, even if you don't wear your life jacket, even though I recommend you to wear it, even though if you don't wear it, just grab an extra one, you know, be safe, grab that extra life jacket. You know, you never know when something's gonna happen and you're gonna need that extra life jacket, right? Maybe you don't need it, maybe someone else on the water needs it. You know, so if you have that extra life jacket, like for you, if you already have a life jacket, I don't recommend you grabbing one of those life jackets up there. Let me correct myself, right? Other people might need it. You know, some people might forget their life jacket, or they might think that they have two. You know, they might think they have two life jackets, and only realize, dang, I only brought one. You know, and say it's a father and son, so the dad gives it to his son, and then he's without a life jacket. But obviously, make the right decision.
and just be like, if you forget your life jacket, just don't go back. Either go back home and grab it, or just go to the store, buy one, or just don't fish that day at all. That's the truth. Unless you have multiple buddies that are gonna be fishing right beside you, and you are also a good swimmer, right? Then yes, you know, stay in the water. You can fish. Just be a little bit more cautious and aware of your surroundings, because you know, anything can happen. You can get knocked over. Like for me, I was fishing with a buddy. The wind was just like this today, and then my buddy was literally 30 feet out, and I was yelling at him. I was literally yelling his name. He could not hear me at all. I blew my whistle. He didn't even turn around, and then he's probably just deaf, you know. But like, you know, having an air horn, you know, get the, you know, hey, you need help, and don't. You can horseplay in the water, but just be smart about it. You know, we're all human. I guarantee you, if I'm fishing, I would not like to roll up on someone's body in the water because they're not wearing a PFD. Well, that's enough of my pep talk, and I'm gonna get to fishing. Well, I guess one more thing to add is a comfortable life jacket. Like, I have this Onyx one. It's about $100. Canisters to refill it if you do fall in the water is about $40. And there is a way to there is a manual and automatic one that you can buy. I have this one set to manual. I should probably have an automatic just in case I do fall and I get knocked unconscious somehow, you know. But hey, man, like, buy something you're gonna be comfortable with. I wear this all day.